we miss like we're missing like a striker. I don't want to hear it. Immobile is ass.
Oh my god. Continue the propaganda that Immobile's not good, Stallion, you dirty fuck.
Dude, just like, I mean, hey man, he wears a Lazio shirt, he's scoring 20 a season. He wears an Italy shirt, I've never seen. It's like Di Natale was for Italy as well. For Udinese, he was cracked.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm scared of Ukraine.
I love how you're like, I don't know, what do you call it? Your reference point is how nations destroy Serbia. If you guys can shit house them.
His parameter for European success is based on how many goals people score past Serbia. Well, Ukraine might win the whole thing because they put 5 past us.
Anyone want to disagree and say Spain's not finishing first?
No, not me.
I'm controversial. I don't rate them at all. What are you saying for the final?
In Wembley? Do you give them a little
England.
more?
England.
Yeah, do you give them a little bit more of that juice?
It's home.
Let's bring it home, boys.
Get it on. Where's the Gaza shirt?
England to win it. Let's go.
I got the Gaza shirt out. It's coming home.
You're listening to Bored with Nelly.
Welcome to the Bored with Nelly podcast. Today I'm joined by, why is this such an official introduction? Italian Stallion and JCC World of JCC streaming live on Facebook. Wow, what a treat this is for everyone.
What a treat. What a treat.
I have no structure for the show. It's completely unorganized. We're going to talk some shit. We're going to talk some Euros. Do not bet based on our shit talk. I will say that as a disclaimer. That is a horrible idea.
It is. It really
Having
is.
said that, Stallion, who's going to win it? Your lock.
France. Easy win.
That's terrible odds. I'm looking for North Macedonia from JCC at least.
Yeah, mate, of course. Whatever makes you happy. No, Portugal.
Okay, those
Portugal.
are two very easy options, I guess. Both of you picked. But Portugal can't beat Serbia, so it's like, can they actually win the Euros?
Yeah.
With that.
It's just Serbia beat Serbia, isn't it? Mitrovic can't take a penalty.
Hey, that one hurt. That one
hurt me more because you sent him back to us and he was terrible the whole season after missing that penalty for you. I don't know what you did to him. It was like someone whispered in his ear that he was terrible. And he
what people don't understand is Serbian players don't care about like club football. Like realistically, like they care with the money aspect, but like their passion is for the national team.
Yeah.
So when they got relegated to Scotland at home because of that guy's miss, that guy might have gone into like a mini mental breakdown for like months.
Yeah. I know he clearly did for us on the pitch, man. Anyway, who do you think's going to win?
I'm wearing a Russia kit.
Right.
So I'm just going to go with Russia. And
Russia.
I know it's outrageous claim that I have no, like, I don't actually believe that. I just want Russia to win.
Okay.
I can't have Croatia win. I mean, I'd like for them to get to the finals, but the amount of shit talking that would happen if these guys won or if like North Macedonia won, I'd probably have to jump off a bridge. I'd be happy for them, but like I don't want to live in a world where I have to hear that from people.
Croatia's
like,
a weird team.
What if Scotland won or Wales won? How would you feel, JC?
The thing is like there isn't really that much of a rivalry. Like we want to beat Scotland, but I think like once we move past Scotland, like if Scotland were to progress at England don't really care. Like I think Scotland care more about England than we do about them. You know what I mean? Like we don't care if they get to a semi and we get to like round of 16. It doesn't really matter to us. It's just like we don't want to lose to them. It means more to them though, I think.
You're playing them first week, right? Second week?
Second week,
Scotland.
yeah. We played them second week. It's going to be big at Wembley as well.
Can you go? Can you buy tickets or no?
I know people are there. Yeah. It's meant to be, I think it's meant to be like nearly a full capacity. Or maybe not quite. But yeah, there's a lot in there for it. I know people with tickets, yeah.
I want to ask you guys, Stallion especially, because he was trying to buy tickets, your thoughts on this year and it being in several different countries in the worst possible pandemic. Are you excited about Euros, like it's being all over the place or what?
Dude, the hosting thing, it was already weird to me. Like whether or not we had COVID, it was already going to be in like different cities. I found that weird because there's always going to be one team that's the host. but like multiple cities, like it's even worse now. It's playing 3 home games in the group. Like that's bullshit. I'm Italian, but like that's like an
Same as us,
unreal
yeah.
advantage. Like what do we
Yeah.
do? Why are we home for 3 games? I preferred the old thing, like where a country or two is host and that's that. Like I feel since last Euros they kind of ruined the Euros because they made this time they ruined it with like different host countries. Although with COVID, I guess they had to adapt it even more. But even like the 6 group thing, I think is bullshit because like last time Portugal won off 3 draws in the groups and then going to pens pretty much every knockout game. You have to try to not get past the groups realistically if you're a decent team. Like top 2 go through and the 4 best third place teams out of 6 groups. Like,
4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
4.
if you don't go through, you are actually shit.
I didn't know it was 4. I thought it was like maybe 2. 4.
Yeah, if you're a
Yeah.
big side and you don't qualify in that, you should just be banned from the next competition, regardless of whether you've already made it or not. Just not allowed.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. I was always thinking like Serbia didn't make it. I was like, whatever. We weren't gonna get out of the group with England and Croatia anyways. But
You would have.
3 with 3 teams, we could have.
You probably would have, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
embarrassing.
I think it's a weird structure. I don't like it across multiple nations. I think it's nice when places get to host it, and like Stallion said, it's the same for England. I think we play all our group games at home. I think the Netherlands do as well, and I think Spain play all their games. And it's just like very odd. Like if you're North Macedonia, you're gonna be like, well, come on, like why can't we host all the games? Like it's weird. I don't get it. And I think with COVID, they should have rethought it. But hey, we're here now. I just hope that like we don't see something where it's like half the England. What happens if half the England squad, because of all this, just get COVID? Like we have to go and fly to. I think if whoever comes second has to play their game on the other side of Europe. I don't know where it is, but fly out there. Half our squad gets COVID. What's that? Like that's 2 week. Do you know what I mean? They can't play the game. I don't know how it will work.
Don't they have the vaccines fully? Aren't the players fully vaccinated? I feel like.
Yeah, I'm
They
sure
should
most
be.
of them are, but like still, if like, it takes a physio to get it, I mean, you can still carry it, right? And so it's just like what happens it just seems unnecessary. It just all seems a bit unnecessary to have all that travel thrown in. Like what the NBA did last year when they came back and they sort of had like a hub for
Bubble?
it. Like, yeah, it makes more sense to me anyway.
Yeah, especially in a year like this. This was the worst possible time to do it. And I think they were talking about doing it in Russia at one point because Russia had like the infrastructure
Yeah.
from the World Cup, and then they backed. I don't know why they backed out of that idea. And now they're doing it with only like not even full capacity. I think a lot of places are doing like 50 to 25%.
Mm.
I'm not a Russian shill, I must add. I feel
Yeah.
I'm like, why aren't they playing in Russia, boys? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
The Russian team would be juicing too, so like they would definitely come play. Like
100%.
there's no rules there for
Yeah.
Russia. I was thinking of also talking about like breakout players who's having like there's a lot of stories that are kind of interesting. Like Ibra is 40 almost, and he's gonna be playing for Sweden. He's gonna come back to the national team play. This could be like the last big tournament for like
think
guys
he's
like
out.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I thought he was out.
He
I
got
thought he was
injured.
out too.
Yeah, he got injured, man.
No.
And I was thinking about with the Ronaldo thing, that guy won't stop for Portugal. I think he bleeds Portugal, man. Like I think he'll definitely do the World Cup next season.
I think he will, but like he's gonna probably get like maybe reduced minutes, like super sub minutes, because like there's so much talent in Portugal. It's not like Sweden. Sweden has like okay talent, but
yeah,
Portugal is stacked at every single position.
mate, it's exciting. I feel like Stallion's the best person to lead that question because a lot of the Italian team have a lot of like people are sleeping on the Italian team, right? I feel like under Mancini, like I'd like to know your thoughts on it because you seem like you guys have rebuilt, and there's a lot of young stars or potential stars in your team.
Yeah, I mean, Italy, I feel like we've gotten to the point now where Italy could actually have a crack team and we'd be slept on because not a lot of people are going to know about them at this point. Like, I always feel like Italy is one of the few teams that can do really well despite having a dog shit squad because if they're coached well, like in 2016, like Conte had one of the worst teams I've ever seen. But I mean, it took Germany to pens to knock them out. And then in 2012, we got to the final too. But like, we're not favorites this time for sure. but I feel like we're not getting enough hate, and I feel like Italy does really good when everyone just shits on them. Now a lot of like if the Italian press starts talking shit, then traditionally we do well, but overall, yeah, Mancini's done well. Like we don't play like Italy at all. A lot of people are going to be surprised if they watch us and play us because we have like overlapping fullbacks. We play 4-3-3, really attacking, pressing. I mean, it was ironic. We played, what was it, the Netherlands in the Nations League, and we beat them, but like they were playing like really bad defensively. We're the ones pushing forward. We're missing like a striker. I don't want to hear it. Immobile is ass.
Oh my god! Continue the propaganda that Immobile's not a good stallion. You dirty fuck,
dude. Just like I mean, hey man, he wears a Lazio shirt. He's scoring 20 a season. He wears an Italy shirt. I've never seen. It's like Di Natale was for Italy as well. For Udinese, he was cracked. With the Italian national teams. Overall, they have some good players. I think Barella is so good, man. That center mid from Inter. So good. Who else is good? Honestly, if he plays Berardi, he's not really a youngster, but he's done well a lot of years with Sassuolo. This year he scored 17 goals for Sassuolo as a winger. If he plays, he can do all right. Other than that, though,
so many
it's
good
a good mix. It's a good mix of old and young, and they did rebuild, but you could only go up after we lost to Sweden to qualify to the World Cup.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm looking at your group for qualifying. Wow, what a nice little group. Finland, Greece, Bosnia.
That's what I mean. I feel like they're going to take max points out of that, and that will
No, sorry. This is qualifying for.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, but their group that in the Euros is pretty easy as well, right?
Italy, Wales, Turkey, Switzerland. I don't know.
Switzerland's like weird. They're like on the end of a generation with decent players, but Turkey is the one that everyone's saying they're amazing and dark horses. So I'm kind of scared about them.
I think you'll be fine defensively. You just need to handle Bale in the Wales game, and I think your Mancini will probably set you up to do that. And then I think you might draw against Turkey, but I think you'll beat Switzerland. So I think you'll top the group and Wales.
As long as there's no political conflict like there was with Serbia and Switzerland that one time, and the ref was Austrian, I think, or some shit, or German, which I don't understand how that's acceptable. Like you can't have a ref from the same country, but you can have the ref that speaks like the same language, which I feel like that's also a bit of a conflict. But anyways, there was that Mitrovic penalty with the World Cup that they didn't give, where two guys literally like wrestled him, and then we lost to Switzerland 2-1. That one hurt still to this day. But Turkey's very spicy. I watched Turkey play twice against Serbia a couple months ago, and both times it was a draw. One time we were a man down, but Turkey's not bad. I don't think people are talking about Turkey as much as they should be.
Yeah. They could be a surprise pick to get decently far in this tournament. I think they'll come second in that group.
You think they're ahead of Switzerland and Wales?
Yeah,
I would say so too.
Everyone's writing Wales off.
Yeah.
I am.
Right. Okay. I'm filling out my little Euros right now, so I'll tell you guys at the end what it looks like. So we're gonna put Italy first on that one.
Yeah.
Turkey second, Switzerland third, Wales fourth.
Yeah,
that's what I put.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd go with. I think Switzerland will qualify as well in the third place because I think they'll beat Wales.
Interesting. Switzerland is weird because they play like pretty good in these like tournaments. Like they're not anything special when you watch them play, but they don't ever like, I don't know, they feel like they keep their calm and cool. Like they're not like panicked. I feel like some clubs or some countries get like to the Euros or the World Cup and they just look completely different.
England. That's the most English thing you've ever said. We'll win 10 out of 10 qualifiers. We'll beat like Spain in a friendly 2-0, and then we'll go to the tournament and it's like, what is this game again? Is it football? I don't know how to do it. Like, how do we kick it? It's just like, what's going on? Like, how are you this bad? But no.
Is playing at home almost a detriment to England? Is that a crazy statement?
No,
I think weight. No,
I think it's such a big advantage. Like we have a very good record at Wembley, and I think playing these teams that we're supposed to beat, like Stallion said, it's just unfair. Like it's just unfair. It seems like a lot of the big nations as well, like the ones that would probably don't need the advantage, have it. So I'd say it's an advantage to be at home for sure, because like I think we've got a nice setup at the camp. Like there's a whole, like I've been watching the content that the England team have been doing, and it's like probably the same as the Italian. They just got like literally just looks like a dream camp. Like you arrive at this huge complex, you've got your own room, you've got like sort of these incredible gaming rooms, games rooms, like basketball courts indoors and all this stuff. And it just looks like a real fun time if you're a player, like to go for a month.
But you still have to be in the bubble. Like, even if you, like, say, live in London and you're playing at Wembley, do you have to be in the bubble or no?
I think you have to stay there, but I think that's not even to do with COVID. I think that's just like tournament policy. Like, he doesn't want players going home for the weekend and like chilling out and stuff. Like, I think he wants it to be like locked in. We're here for a month. This is what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's an experience until you're all. I mean, some coaches even say no wives until this is over. You know what I mean? Some coaches allow you to, like. I remember when Italy was in 06, like they would go out sometimes with their wives, but most of the time you're just kind of forced, like a school trip, to be together.
Yeah, yeah, it does have school trip vibes.
When Serbia beat Germany, I think it was in South Africa, the players were all in their little hotel, and I think that was the biggest detriment to these guys, because there was photos from like paparazzi that came out. First of all, these idiots left the window open. They didn't close the curtains. And the night before the Germany game, which they ended up winning, mind you, one guy's holding a beer, the other dude is smoking a cig. Two of our starting players, and they're all like fucking drinking. When that came out, I was like, I can't. This is so fucking Serbian. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
Well, it's a party, isn't it? You're on international duty. It's just time to have fun.
Close the window, my guy. I don't need to see that. I want to think that you're trying at least. But these guys are just like, they're like buying a lottery ticket. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Like, it says no. Like, I was so disappointed. The crowd thing is very interesting, though, because the reason I brought that up was yesterday I was watching Djokovic versus Berrettini. Stallion already went to sleep in his Italian home. He probably didn't even know this was a game that was happening. He wasn't.
No, I saw some of it. And then I saw what happened today. Yeah.
Right. So here's the interesting part. With the crowd, Djokovic, like, I could tell he hated it, because there's always like one random heckler or like, I don't know. I mean, the crowd never goes to his favor, and they're always cheering for the underdog. The moment the crowd left, you could tell Berrettini was like on an island. He had no more like of that motivation, no more of that like when you're down a break point to come out of. And Djokovic was just looked so calm. He's like, beautiful silence, just the way I like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really what happened, though, because I think what Djokovic was angry about was like how long it took, because the crowd literally refused to leave. There was a curfew, so they're like, we're not leaving. And then they had to force him out of the crowd, and then it took ages. I think he was pissed. And then when he won the game, I've never seen him like that happy. He was like, fuck these guys, and he just left. But Berrettini, like, he ended up, he got broken pretty late. It was like 7-5, so he held on. Yeah. And then Djokovic was like, thank God.
It wasn't the same Berrettini. It was slightly like one level below what he could be. And the reason that is because during that tournament, I've watched every one of his games. Every other game, there's a dude in the crowd heckling him, talking between like the second serve. And like the French like umpire or the crowd, like they don't really, like they just say like, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. And that's it. They don't do anything. Like, you can be a hooligan in these places, and it's tennis. It's a gentleman's sport. I know it's like a weird problem to have, but it's also weird that we're going back into full crowds. We're going from dead silent, stadiums where players might have, like West Ham potentially. Let's say West Ham had like an amazing season. Can they replicate that with a crowd next year?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. But I think from an England perspective, it should help us, provided we top our group. We stay in England, we stay at Wembley for, I think, pretty much the whole tournament. If we come second, I think that then we have to go play in Copenhagen, which it's not too far, I guess. But yeah, not home advantage gone. So yeah, I think it would make a difference.
Is it the same for the Italian team? Is it like the Italian team also playing everything at home? Group stages?
Yeah. Like I said, yeah, we play all at home, which is like, I think it's only good for the home team. But I was curious to know from JCC, because like my whole timeline is it's coming home every 4 years. It's coming home. Is it actually coming home? Is it actually?
Of course, it's coming home. The thing is I feel like it's coming home until I look at the other team's squads and I'm like, oh, so Portugal, oh, so France, so Italy. And the Netherlands don't look that bad. And you just kind of look through and you're like, okay. Like Like, it has become a meme in this country. It just is something that gets us all together and we have a laugh about it. I do believe this is one of the biggest chances we'll have in terms of what we've already spoke about, the home advantage, the talent that we've got. And I'd be interested to know your guys' opinions from not being English. Like, the talent we've got at the moment, and our mainstream media and us as a population are talking about this like this is the best team we've ever had. And I don't know what you guys like think. What do you think about that, Stallion, from an Italian perspective? Do you see that, or?
I mean, what I find interesting is how, well, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or it's just you, but like the fact that you look at other teams and then you start like going back on the meme. Whereas I feel like for us, no matter how garbage we are, we always like as a nation, even if we're negative in a one-off game, I feel like, at least personally, I don't care how good the other team is. Like, I know that on a one-off, anything can happen.
I can completely see that because you've been on the right side of history of it.
So many times.
20 years. Like you've always proved it. Like you have never really had the best team, maybe apart from 06. And you kind of like, you still find a way, you still find a way.
Especially the last 10 years. But like England scares me more than usual. Like so many times I'd be like, just wait for them to lose and everyone's going to like shut up. This time I feel like there's a lot more quality, but at the same time, like there's so many matches where despite the quality, the football is so bad, which it's not as big of a deal because like in international football, things like set pieces carry so much more weight and it's a lot less tactical and you don't have to play as well to win. But at the same time, you would think that they would do more like things like when Germany played well, holy balls, they played well. You know what I mean? And I would expect that as well from a team like England. But for some reason, from the outside looking in, it looks like there's always that gear missing where you play so well that you scare your opponents. Whereas
I completely agree. Yeah, completely agree with that.
What's the vibe been like in the UK with, Euros and because it was an interesting topic I saw on David Vujacic and Poet's like show they talked about, which was saying like the UK media is looking at what's the easiest route? What's the best way? Like they're talking about potentially finishing, I think, second in the group because then they get a better spot. Like I can't remember. Like maybe you know better about this. An easier potentially spot in another group.
Yeah. So
is that like the right mindset to have? Even
I believe we play whatever team. If we were to come second, we would likely play Poland based on the fact that their favorite. I think it's like maybe their favorites for their group. We'd obviously play.
Poland's favorite in the group with Spain?
It's something like if we come second, I looked into this. If we come first, I'm pretty sure around a 16. Yeah, that's what it is. So Nelly, if we come first, the first game we're going to have in the round of 16 after the group is the team who comes second in that Portugal, Germany, France group. So it's like you have round of 16 and you may be like the most English thing that I can ever imagine to tell you that would happen would be draw against Croatia 1-1, uninspiring, really dead game. Draw against Scotland 1-1, like what's going on? Beat win our last game of the group against Czech Republic, like 2-0 and everyone's like, yeah. And then it's like France, just like, you're right. And we're like, shit. And then you've had 2 terrible warm-up games, but it all comes back to like what Stallion says with us, like we just don't seem to play. I mean, listen, our heads will explode if we go and beat Croatia 3-0 because it would be something we haven't seen. Like even we're so used to like having these incredible teams going to a tournament, and even if we win, it's like I remember when we beat Wales in the World Cup and it was like the whole country was partying. It was like 2-1 Daniel Sturridge 90th minute winner. How is it taking that to beat Wales? Like, you should be 4-0ing Wales, but I don't know. I'm excited but nervous, and I think that the talk of finishing second and planning that is just media and fans. There's no way the team sat there like, all right, tactical draw, lads. Like, 1-1 against... Like, it's just not happening. But, yeah, I do think... On the plus side, the last thing I'll say on it is if you do face a Portugal or a Germany or France and you win... then the tournament's in your hands, in my opinion. Like, if you knock a big boy out like at that stage and you go into the quarterfinals, you should be confident. You should you shouldn't be afraid of anyone at that point.
You know what I want to say about France? They just won the World Cup, right? And I think a lot of people are taking it for granted that they'll go back-to-back tournaments. And I don't think they realize how odd that is in international football. So Spain did that with 08, 10, then 2008 Euro, 2010 World Cup, 2012 Euro. But that was weird. Like that doesn't usually happen. And for Italy, I know that's not possible because we're too Italian to win 2 times in a row. So once we win, we'll celebrate for like 20 years, 15 years, something like that. Then we'll try again. France, I feel like I don't know. Maybe they can do it, they cannot. But like I've seen Germany win the World Cup and then shit the bed in the net. So it's like it wouldn't surprise me if France shut the bed because at the end of the day they're world champions and you gotta ask, the target is on their back and they're gonna have people try so hard against them and it's like are they gonna be on that same like just hunger because in 2006 they lost in pens. In 2008, they did shit, and it just kept being shit despite having such good teams. So it's like, there's usually the champions tend to fall. Like Spain is an exception. So I mean, if England faced France, I would kind of be like watching that game, be like, let's see if they dethrone them.
Because also, if England were to play France, it probably means that France have lost one of those games against Germany or Portugal. And like you say, if I don't know what their first game is, but say it's Portugal. You lose to Portugal and you're French, you're starting to panic. You go, we've got to win our next 2 games and one of them's Germany. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see one of those big boys crash out or, take a 3rd place, but not look very good.
Yeah, I was going to say France is playing Germany first game, Tuesday, June 15th. That's going to be
You think the Germans are going to let them run through them? I know they're a terrible Germany team, but they are like in Italy. They will turn up for a tournament. You'd think they're not going to crash out of another one.
What's a bad German team? That's the funniest expression ever. Like
one with Timo Werner up front, mate.
Well, okay, but I'm saying like a bad German team is like better than the best Serbian team the last 30 years. So it's like I get it. There's levels to this game, but like I don't know. I would never discount Germany. I guess Let's talk about the second group. We can go through the groups a little bit more. So Group B, Russia, big up the Russians. Belgium, Denmark, Finland. A little Scandinavian battle there at the end. Thoughts on who's getting through? What's this gonna look like?
It's an easy Belgium at the top, right? Surely.
Yeah, it's that one group where it's gonna be Belgium. They have to be. I mean, based also on my fucking fantasy team, I have some Belgian defenders, so I'm hoping for a nice clean sheets all around. Has to be. And then I don't know, man. Like I don't know Denmark and Finland a lot, and then Russia. It's like Russia's like I don't know. Sometimes they choke, and they do awfully bad, but like. I'd predict Denmark, then Russia 3rd, and then Finland last if I had to choose.
Yeah, I think Finland are definitely bottom. Belgium are top. The other 2 will work them. It's kind of interchangeable. I think. I'm just getting the thing up.
Is Belgium destined to be one of these teams that does well in the group stages and rarely produces afterwards? Because I feel like that's been their heritage, their history. Because I mean, not even I think 15 years ago, they were getting bounced by Serbia. It's only recent that Belgium has been on the level they've been, I think, right?
Yeah, they've got a golden generation at the moment.
I have a personal quarrel with Belgium, if I may be honest.
Okay, go ahead.
Belgium and Switzerland are 2 teams that piss me off. It's not their fault, to be fair, because people just look at the squad and they're like, oh yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team. They are a very good team. But what pisses me off is in the 2014 World Cup when they made the groups for the World Cup, and we ended up being in the group with England and Uruguay. Which it's like an unreal amount of World Cup trophies in a group stage. And it's like, how did that happen? Italy wasn't like a top seed, one of the first pot teams, because Belgium and Switzerland were ahead. And I did some research on how that is even possible, because if we go back to 2014, Switzerland played, there was a 2010 World Cup and then 2012 Euro, right? And that's the only 2 tournaments relevant for the coefficient. Switzerland only played one of those 2 and Belgium played 0. And I was like, how is it possible that without playing a tournament, Belgium has overtook Italy? And basically, long story short, you look at the algorithm and Italy was basically losing points per win compared to Belgium because we played a higher amount of games, because we played more friendlies, including a charity match against Haiti. And so no matter what we would have done, we wouldn't have been in the top tier teams because of the way the coefficient works. And I was like, That's bullshit,
Crazy.
bro. That's
Why is there friendlies even in the coefficient? Why the hell would that even be a thing?
dude,
Who
it
decided
was
that?
no, it's so stupid. And it's like, and people are like, oh, but they have a good team. And I was like, I don't care, bro. It's like King of the Hill. You have to knock the king off first if you have such a good team. Like,
Yeah.
how can you be a first spot team? You didn't play the last time they had played a tournament in 2014 was in 2002. I was like, how is this possible? Like, so I have a personal issue with them, but it's not their
Is
fault.
Croatia a pot one team or no? Was Croatia a pot like the main pot or no?
Don't think so. Not at the time.
No.
Not
I
at
feel
the
like they've
time.
been doing well internationally for quite some time. I think they're a little bit weaker than what they were at the World Cup, but
Oh, now they might be. Now they might be. Yeah, but
Yeah?
at the time they weren't. Yeah. I mean, it looks like they are because it says Croatia for. I don't know how it works. Ironically, now we were a one first pot team, but we don't deserve to be right now. So I don't know how it works, man. It's so weird.
yeah, international footy, boys. What a fucking beautiful thing it is. So mysterious and so rare. It's just a spectacle. That's why we love it. What a transition by me. All right, Group C. Austria, North Macedonia, Ukraine, Netherlands. Low-key, kind of a spicy group. I'm kind of excited about this one.
Yeah, it's not a bad group. I think the Netherlands will comfortably top it. You think even without Van Dijk, I think they're actually quite a good team. They're better than they have been previously as well in the last few years. But yeah, I think there'll be some interesting games. I don't know a lot about North Macedonia. I know Ukraine have got a few good players. Austria the same. We played against Austria in a friendly, and they had signs. They played Sabitzer up front, and obviously they look okay. But yeah, I don't know. Netherlands surely just going to come out of that on top, right?
I'm gonna be controversial here.
I was gonna say. Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Sally.
say Austria first, Ukraine second, Netherlands third, and that's just me
Wow.
riding the wave of how pissed off everyone in the Netherlands is with like Frank de Boer as their coach because their team's good,
Yeah.
but like they're kind of struggling. I'm just because there's always someone who does shit, and I feel like it might be their turn, but who knows? When
Yeah.
tournament football starts, you don't know. So I'm gonna say Netherlands either second or third, but Austria first.
I'm also gonna. This is the most, I guess, controversial group so far. Then, because I think
Yeah.
Ukraine's gonna finish first in this group, just based on what I've seen from. Because I watch Serbian footy internet religiously.
Yeah.
They crushed us in November. Oh, this was a while. So our last time they crushed us was June 7th, 5-0. And
I
the
love
other time
how
we played them, it was 2-2. So I'm
love
scared
how-
of Ukraine.
I love how your I don't know, what do you call it? Your reference point is how nations destroy Serbia. If you guys can shit
pretty
house them,
much.
His parameter for European success is based on how many goals people score past Serbia. Well, Ukraine might win that whole thing because they put 5 past us.
Man, I don't know. They have a young team. They were really fun to watch. Shevchenko, I think, is coach, right? Like, to me, I think Ukraine's like slept on big time. I'm not as confident. People seem to be really confident in Netherlands because I think of the stature of their players that go play internationally. They have all these big names, but I don't know. I'm not sold on Netherlands if I'm being honest.
I know, but it's also they are, from an English perspective, the Netherlands feel like a bit of an Italy again. They do always seem to do okay, and even if you're like looking at their team and you're like, God, he plays for Southampton or he plays for Tottenham and barely starts, you're like, somehow they're going to play for Netherlands and do much better. I think like Memphis has always played quite well for them, and I've seen he scored some goals in the warm ups. I think he'll have a good tournament. But yeah, I don't know. That's rogue from you guys. I do think Netherlands will top the group still, but I like the spicy calls.
If I may point out some recent results from qualifiers with Netherlands, they lost to Turkey 4-2. They couldn't beat Scotland. It was 2-2 against Scotland. There's some questionable Nations League. They couldn't beat Bosnia 0-0. I'm not saying Bosnia is horrendous, but at the same time, if we're talking about them as an elite and elite squad, these are like a lot of blemishes on the resume. Italy beat them in Nations League. It's like they're really inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. How are we gonna? Let's unanimously agree on this one. How can we? So I can fill out my little bracket. What are we saying?
Well, it's 2v1. Netherlands are going. Do you think they're going through in third though? If they finish third,
I think Netherlands second, Austria third.
I mean, if they go through, whoever is in this group has to, right? Because there's no way Macedonia picks up points. Surely.
no,
No,
surely not.
as we say this, some guy's gonna fucking edit the video, put Macedonian music in the background.
Yeah.
These frauds.
It'll be their
I don't know.
tournament knowing us. They'll spank Ukraine and Netherlands and get a draw against Austria.
Stallion, why are you so crazy about Austria? You got some sort of, love between Austria and Italy? What's going on there?
No, but they have some. Who they got? They have Alaba. They have Sabitzer. They have that.
Sab.
They have They have that
guess
striker who scored like 15 goals in the Bundesliga. I forgot his name. They have some okay players, Honestly, after what you said, I'd put Ukraine first and then Austria
Let's go.
second. But like that's more about how shit Netherlands has been playing and less about whoever said.
I agree. JC, you watched Austria versus England 1-0, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Last week, no? Was it
Yeah.
last week?
They
How
only
was that?
conceded 1 to England. That's impressive to me.
Yeah, the thing is like our preseason games, a lot of people are going crazy about them here. We did have like, obviously because of the European finals, most of the team was missing. I think the United players weren't there. The Chelsea and City players weren't really playing. So I think you're looking at like 5 or 6 sure-in starters that just weren't playing for us. But it was a bad game. We looked pretty poor. I mean, we did miss, I think it was a penalty, right? Rashford penalty 1-0 and Henderson missed a penalty to make it 2-0.
I'm looking. I didn't even watch it.
I'm just trying to remember. That's right. Yeah, Rashford scored in that game.
I see Ming starting at center back. A guy named Cody.
Yeah,
I see Saka. Like what? Declan Rice. Like I'm looking at this team. It's like half depleted.
Or maybe it was the Saka goal. What was the score, Nelly, in that game? 1-0. Yeah.
1-0. Saka scored 56th minute.
Saka scored it. Yeah. The Rashford goal was the other warm up. Yeah, I mean, it was just a bit. Do you know what it is, though? I think players in those games don't want to get injured. If you were there, you wouldn't dive into tackles. You wouldn't put it all out there. You wouldn't extend all these sort of things. You're 1 week away from a tournament. But I don't really rate Austria that highly from seeing them. Like, we weren't that strong. Like you said, we had a Wolves and Aston Villa centre-back pairing, and they didn't. I mean, they had a few good chances with Sabitzer, but nothing really.
All right, I'm going to safely say then Ukraine first, Netherlands second. So we both agreed those are the bigger teams probably going through. Austria third, North Macedonia fourth. My boy Matt is going to be absolutely pissed that I've talked shit about North Macedonia, but hey, congratulations making the tournament, bro. That's a big up. Group D, Scotland, England, Croatia, Czech Republic. Can I lock you in, JCC, for England first?
Yeah. It's really tough, and I won't be too. It's coming home, but I do anticipate us drawing at least 1 or 2 games. Like the Scotland-England game has 1-1 written all over it.
Yeah.
But I'll be optimistic, and I'll say I think we will beat Croatia, and I think we'll beat Czech Republic and draw to Scotland. I think we'll top the group with Croatia in second. I think Scotland will come third, and probably get a result over the Czech Republic. I really do. I think they've got a game at Hampden Park. I think that might be the one against in Scotland against the Czech Republic. I think they play at home, Scotland. So, I'm gonna put my Scottish brothers in third and qualifying with a win. What do you guys think?
Stallion.
Well, I saw Italy, Czech Republic. We don't score a lot of goals, but we beat them 4-0. So I'm not rating them a lot right now. I'd put them. I'm going to use Nelly's.
Guys, welcome back to my way of guessing.
I'm taking a page out of your book. I'm going to put. It's tough, man, because it really all depends on that first Croatia-England game.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, bro, I have a feeling that England will be first and just smash this group. Croatia second, and then Scotland third out of pure passion.
I love it. That's what I have. I already put that down after JCC. So I agree. I think that's the way this group's going to play out. I would love to see Croatia play well again, but I think they're just, I don't know. I feel like they're not what they were at the World Cup. Their players are getting a bit older. They're like Modric, Rakitic, all these guys. Their next generation, I think, is going to be in 5 to 10 years again, because they do have some players coming up, but they're not what they were at the World Cup.
Yeah.
That was their golden ticket. That was their last, I think, big, let's say, tournament. All right, Group E, Poland, Spain, Sweden, Slovakia. Anyone want to disagree and say Spain's not finishing first?
No, not me.
I'm controversial. I don't rate them at all. I really
Really?
don't. Not at all. I don't rate them. I think is it Ferran Torres playing up front for them? This is a bad Spain team in my opinion. But I think they're kind of lucky with that group. Like if you had that Spain, if you swapped Spain and Germany, I wouldn't even put it past to say Spain are getting grouped if they were in a tough group with like Portugal, France. But I think, tough. I wouldn't even look past Poland. I don't know about Spain. I really don't know about them. I'm looking at their squad here.
Are they still doing that thing where they're not inviting Real Madrid players? Is that actually happen?
Well, it's not that they're not inviting them. I just don't think they're either injured or not selected. Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah,
I thought the coach was the guy from the Barcelona coach, and he didn't want to invite Real Madrid. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no.
Stallion? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I'm just going to say I don't think it's an official. He's banning. I just don't think that Real Madrid have that good of a Spanish team. Like they don't have that many good Spanish players at the moment that are either fit or playing well. I think Ramos was the big surprise because he's obviously got nearly 200 caps and 3 international trophies. You think surely you can find a way because the last count I saw, they were only bringing 24 players. So it's a 26-man squad, but he chose to bring 24. Surely you bring Ramos. And, Roy Keane made a joke on our punditry recently about Jordan Henderson. Is he there to clean the boots or something? Because obviously a lot of people were saying, well, I think even if Henderson's not fit, you should bring him for his leadership. But I do think there's something in that, like, jokes aside. Like, I think having Ramos around that squad is better than not having Ramos around that squad. Also seen that Busquets has tested positive for COVID recently. I don't know what's happening with that, but I just don't see this as a Spain squad that's going to really progress or challenge for the title at all. Yeah.
I would agree with like not going far. I just don't know too much about the other teams. For sure, though, even though Poland does have Lewandowski, I would put Sweden second because they do have a couple decent youngsters. I really like Kulusevski. He plays for Juve. But yeah, maybe
a guy who's one of the top scorers in the La Liga, right? Isaac or
yeah, and like the usual like Quaison and these guys like that, like they've been there for a while. They're just annoying to play. Sweden are, and I'd put them second, Poland third, Slovakia last. But I mean, based on what JCC said, I mean, you never know.
Let me tell you Spain's front line and tell you if this scares you. Morata, Ferran Torres, who's a brilliant talent but has barely played, and Adama Traore from Wolves. That's not even remotely scary. And I just don't know. I just wouldn't be surprised if Poland managed to get a win over them. I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, what scares me is just how they hold the ball. That just pisses me off. So more than anything. But again, if there's no end product, then of course you're.
Well,
mate,
right. I'm telling you, this Spain team, and I could be proved so wrong, and I'm sure they're going to win the Euros now. But they had to go over to Manchester and basically fake Laporte's passport to take him.
Oh yeah, France. I saw that.
Because that's how thin at the back they are. Like they had to take him.
I was so spooked when I saw this guy playing the other day. They were playing against Portugal. I was like, Laporte?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this guy doing? He's French. Like,
yeah.
I follow this asshole on Twitter. Like, he always talks about FIFA. Like, I know you're French.
It shows you how good the France squad is, where they don't even give Laporte a look in. So
I don't like that, man.
He didn't play for the actual French team at all, so that's why they were able to do that. He played for the French under 21s or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he never got called up for France. That's actually crazy if you think about it. He literally plays for Manchester City. Like that seems like an anomaly.
I know.
Like just call him up for like a game, like whatever, friendly against Armenia.
Just shows you how much depth they've got. I mean, we took Rice and Grealish. Grealish was meant to be Irish. I don't think he ever got a cap, but Declan Rice has 3 caps for Ireland.
Does he really?
Yeah, and then we just decided he was. I mean, he is so English. He's not Irish at all. But like, I don't know. He got called up really early to the Ireland squad. Went and played for Ireland.
He played 3 games for Ireland. Yeah, look at that. 2018.
Yeah.
Did he actually get onto the pitch?
For Ireland?
Yeah, did he play minutes? Because like, isn't there some rule that if you get on the pitch, like or something, like I don't know what the rule.
I don't know. I think money talks, mate. I don't know. I think if you want someone in any industry, like, I think that's probably just what happened. I think
if the Queen wants a man, the Queen gets a man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just chucked 10 million at Ireland and went, let us have him. Just let us have him. He doesn't want to play for Ireland. He's never even been. But yeah, the Laporte thing is weird, and I just that just to me screams desperation. Like, from the Spain point of view, I don't see them topping the group, but I'll go with the majority and say they will for the purpose of Nelly's fill-in sheet.
Well, I mean, I could go either way against. I can go Poland or Spain. I don't know. I like Poland. I don't know. I just want to see Lewandowski do really well at some big tournament. Like I don't know. He's to me is such a fun player to watch. I don't care. Whatever you guys want on this one, Spain or Poland. I'll let you guys decide. Actually,
go with Spain top, as it makes more sense, but I just don't see it. Okay, it's like a gut instinct. They still have a better squad than Poland, but
Poland over Sweden, or Sweden over Poland.
I would go Sweden, but I mean, it's your predict. I've already done my predictor, so.
yeah.
All right.
You go with your gut, Nelly.
No one's giving Slovakia any hopes. Fair enough. All right, the last group: Portugal, France, Germany, Hungary. Ooh wee.
Hungarians are screaming it's coming home.
Yo, Hungary is hype. I don't know why people are hating Hungary. Like, they're just really lucky with the group they got.
I'd be fuming if I was them. I'd be fuming. I think this is just on a knife's edge, isn't it? You can't call it this group. You cannot call it. I don't think it's just an intelligent guess. That's all you can give.
If you look at Hungary's last 10 games, there's a pretty good results. Like 3-3 versus Poland. They beat Turkey, tied Serbia, beat Iceland, tied Russia. Like, they're not bad. Like, they're a solid squad. But
wouldn't it throw a great spanner in the works if Hungary just beat Portugal first game? They beat them 1-0. It would be amazing, but I don't see it.
That would be a story. That would be hype. Fuck, this is a toss-up. I don't know. I have no idea how to pick this group. I would say Germany's probably the less likely of the first two spots.
Mm-hmm. I put Germany first just because in doubt, I just went with their sheer mentality and machine-like football. So I was like, hey man, because Portugal, obviously, yeah, talented as hell, but they play pretty badly a lot of the times. I don't know if they're playing well now. France, like I said earlier, I think they're gonna suffer from being champs, and then Portugal. I put Portugal third in mine because they won it last time with being third. So why not again?
Is it because Ronaldo plays for Juve and you hate Juve? Be honest. No. All that, whatever you just said was all great, and I appreciate you trying to this is not an analytical show. It's actually because you fucking hate Ronaldo.
Why would I hate Juve when he single-handedly destroyed them? I mean, not Juve, Ronaldo. When at the end of the day, Ronaldo bought Juve so they could choke their 10 streak. So we'll take it.
All right, so.
But really, it's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't hate the Germany shout top. I think everyone's looking at that group from an England perspective, and we go, right, so we're playing France or Portugal, one of them two, if we qualify. But but realistically, yeah, you can't write the Germans off. Although they have been terrible, they have been very from what I've seen and heard, they've been awful. But there's
no unity. I feel like in the team, the German team feels like it's missing a little bit of unity.
It is
of issues going on.
Yeah, because the players are there. They're not the best Germany side ever, but you're still looking at Kroos, Müller, Neuer, Havertz, Sane, Gnabry, Kimmich, Goretzka.
Didn't they get waxed by Spain? They got waxed by Spain 6-0 a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That was a friendly, but still, have some pride, bro. 6-0?
I know, that's poor. Is Royce going to this tournament? Is Marco Reus finally going to a tournament fit for Germany? I just looked that up. Germany Euro squad.
Yeah, he is.
He is going. Yeah, he's always missing out. So I'm glad for him. But yeah, I don't know. It's a real tough group. Nelly, what do you think with this group?
Wait, did Germany lost to North Macedonia? I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
in the qualifiers 2-1.
What?
Yeah.
Run it
Stallion,
back.
do you remember that?
Run it
was
back.
like-
Run back, Macedonia. They're putting third, bro. Put Netherlands fourth.
Let's go. Goran Pendev in the 45th minute scored a goal. Oh my god, boys. What are we even talking about? They couldn't beat Denmark. Yeah, you're right. I actually didn't, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention to Germany too much, to be honest.
But it's weird because, yeah, Gundogan's there. On paper, they have a very good team, but they still have Joachim Low. It's his last tournament. But, yeah, I don't see...
Fucking nose picker.
Yeah, I don't see it being a good year for them, but maybe. Who knows?
All right, I'll just put, I think the middle ground is Germany second. I'll put, Stallion's not a big fan of it, but I'll put France first. I'll put Portugal third, and we'll put Hungary fourth, just to keep this little fun game going, just to see what happens next, right? Okay, predict the 4 best third place teams. The options we have are Switzerland, Russia, Austria, Scotland, Sweden, Portugal. So let's say Portugal is a lock, and then the other
I'd say
teams-
Switzerland too.
Switzerland, I like Switzerland. That's a good shout.
I think Scotland as well, because I think they'll get a win over Czech Republic.
Is it based on wins first and then goals scored? Is that what the...
I think it's
Curious.
points. It has to
It's
be
just points, right?
Oh, it has nothing to do with goals scored?
I think
Well,
it might
yeah,
come down to
might
that.
be, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know the exact rules, but I would assume it just comes down to points, and then whoever did it the more impressively, goal difference, and all that goes for.
Okay, let's put Scotland. I don't mind that. And then the last one, Russia, Austria, Sweden. Literally, I would say like a coin toss. I don't know. And nothing really sticks out of those 3 teams. I feel like on any day they're all on the same level, let's say.
Why don't you just go with Russia because you got the shirt on?
Yeah, let's run it. I like that. That's a great show.
Science. We're
Some
really-
guy right now is filling this thing out at home. He's like, I'm gonna be a fucking millionaire. These boys are the golden ticket. Their predictions.
predict
All right,
every
so-
result.
What we're left with is a bracket. I'll share my screen. Wow, this is technology that I didn't think we'd have. Let
Wow.
me see.
Oh wow.
Can you-
Look
can
at
you-
that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Huge.
Yeah, thank you for the fake enthusiasm, guys. That's great.
Huge.
We're left with Belgium, Scotland, Italy, Netherlands, France, Russia, Croatia, Poland, Spain, Switzerland, England, Germany. What else is there? Let me keep going. Ukraine, Portugal, Turkey, Denmark.
You want to start from the top or bottom?
Let's go from the top. Yeah, let's go from the top. Belgium,
Belgium.
Scotland,
Belgium all day.
Italy, Netherlands. Stallion, thoughts?
It's a 50-50, man. I mean,
Yeah?
we beat them in the Nations League, but this is different. I'd still go Italy, to be honest, but who knows?
All right, still Italy. JC,
I'd
50-50 as well for you?
100. No, I'd go Italy in that. I think Italy are underrated. I think Italy on the up and Netherlands are slightly on the down. So the smart money would be on Italy.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Netherlands either. We'll go Italy. France, Russia. I think we
France.
got to go France.
Yeah.
Croatia, Poland. That's a fun one.
That's yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
fun.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
real.
leaning towards Poland on this one. I'm thinking Poland is probably in their
I
golden
think
generation. Maybe.
the round of 16 always throws up a few surprises, and I think like if you look at that on paper, you'd be like, oh yeah, Croatia last winners World Cup, last World
Experience.
Cup very final. But I think you have to go with some shocks in the round of 16. So I'd probably say Poland as well out of that, but that's just the sort of gut instinct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll allow it, dude. I was gonna go
Allow it.
Croatia, but
Fair. Wow. All right. Spain, Switzerland. How unsold are we on Spain? That's the real question. Are we seeing a cheeky little, I guess, upset on paper?
I don't believe in Petkovic and Switzerland that much personally, but you guys call it, man.
yeah. I think Spain would probably have more than enough to beat Switzerland in that round of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is what first place gets you, bro, in our bracket.
I know.
England versus
I'm-
Germany.
I would take that though, because there would never be a better time to play Germany. I think we're better than them. And I'd put my faith in England to get through that on paper, but it's England, so don't know. You just
Having
don't
said
know.
all that, you're just like, it's England.
I'd say England,
and
dude.
Germany.
I'm with England too. I like this.
What
This is
goes
probably the
around
worst
comes
Germany's
around,
been in a
man.
while.
And they're due some revenge from that disallowed goal in what was
Frank
it,
Lampard.
2000? Yeah, that one. I don't remember what year.
Oh, mate,
2010, I think.
pain. Absolute pain. Neuer, the cheeky gitch, turn around and grabs the ball on the line. He knows straight away. He's so clever.
How did we play this game before goal line technology? Every game should be null and void. Ukraine, Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turkey, Denmark. Wow, what a nice little draw for
Easy
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey, I think,
say.
walked through them, yeah. I think they'd smash them.
Back to the top.
Ooh,
Italy, Belgium.
big boy.
Stallion
Big
is
game.
not big on Belgium at all.
No, I mean they're good, but I just have a personal issue because of what they did to us with that whole thing. But we beat them last Euro, so maybe they're due to beat us. But I don't know. I really have no idea. If we get this far, I'm already like thrown off personally.
Yeah, it's so hard to call if you're in these knockouts. It's just a one-off game, isn't it? I would honestly say Italy though. I think that Belgium's defense isn't. They've got some aging players in there. De Bruyne not fully fit. I mean, I guess by this point we will know if he's playing or not. And I just feel like Italy. I feel like I'd lean towards Italy, but I don't know what you think. You would.
Yeah, especially with a home advantage. Probably, I'm assuming this will be a home advantage for Italy. They might play right in Rome.
I'm not sure if
No,
it
I don't
carries
think
this
so.
far. No, I'm not sure where that would be.
Munich.
Munich.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I still think Italy has enough to get through, and I mean, Belgium has not done anything internationally for me to give like this kind of confidence for them to get all the way to the semis. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just based on like, I feel like Italy can. It's gonna be like tight. I think it's gonna be a good game if that actually does happen. But all right, we'll put Italy, France, Poland. I don't think anyone's doubting this at that point.
Yeah.
France, right?
Yeah, at that point, France, 100%.
Then we're left with, I would say, the spicier end: Spain, England. Probably your best bet, JCC in the quarters.
Yeah, I mean, I think the round of 16 is the big one for us, as stupid as that sounds. Like, if we can get past the Germany or Portugal or France in that game, the tournament is in our hands with the quality we have, or at least the route to the final. Like, I don't fear Spain if we've already beaten Portugal or France. So at this point, on paper, I think we're a much better side. I think, like I said, Traore, Morata, and Fernan Torres compared to Kane, Foden, and Sancho or Grealish or Sterling. I mean, it's just night and day squads to me. So in this situation, I put England through over Spain, but I don't know what you guys think.
I agree. I would go England as well.
Stallion has let the Spain slander affect his judgment. He will now be picking England.
Nelly, what do you think? You think Spain in that?
I think England at some point will underperform.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a lot sooner than I think some people think. I don't know. To me, it always feels like the Iceland game, let's say, right? Like it feels like there's that moment where you were focused up until then, and that's the beauty of these tournaments, right? It's one bad day, and that's
over. Even Croatia game, really, it was in our hands to go 2-0 up.
Right. So I don't know. We'll say England just to make it a little more interesting because I mean this is such a tough road. Like look at this. It's gonna be Germany, Spain, Portugal, and then France to win the Euros.
Yeah, which is just like we're not doing that. I don't think we're doing that. I wouldn't put Portugal past Turkey that quickly. I really wouldn't.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised, like with what Stallion said about the burnout of Portugal winning if they got to this stage. They haven't, in this situation, we had them second or third. Third. We had them third in your route to the final, right?
Yeah, we did.
I know them when they won the Euros last, they didn't even win a group game. So it's pretty similar. But can lightning strike twice? I don't know. They get an easy group with an easy round of 16 against Ukraine. They finally play a Turkey side who's in a quarter-final. Passionate Turkey side.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be as quick to just fly Portugal through in that. I really wouldn't. I don't know. In this situation.
Because it's hard. It's so hard to call because that goes for any Turkey game. Because then, even if I was England, I'd be terrified of Turkey. And then what are you going to say? Are we saying Turkey's getting to the final? Like, what are we saying?
But this is the thing. You've always got one shock in a tournament. We had Croatia last time. I wouldn't be surprised for Turkey to get past Portugal in that situation. But
yeah, what's our big shock so far? Our big shock is what, Poland versus Croatia, I guess.
Yeah, we haven't really
There's
had
also
one.
levels though, like levels between like Çalhanoğlu as your class player and then Modric. You know what I mean? Like I think they're worlds apart. But I mean, I think the semi. If England gets to that semi, I think that's like the turning point, because whether you get Portugal or Turkey, that's gonna be an ugly win if you get the win.
Yeah. 100%.
When in doubt, I like to turn to history because, as you guys know, history tends to repeat itself. And for this matchup, there is actually very little history. It's 1 win, 1 draw, 1 win, 1 loss, and 3 draws between Portugal and Turkey. So, yeah, we're going to go with Portugal just to keep it interesting. But I don't know, Turkey's not bad. It's going to be interesting. But then we get to this like point where our stupid little decisions get us Turkey in the semis, and that's always... You gotta look back and ask yourself, how did we get here?
Yeah, it's one you might put a 10 quid bet on if you wanted some good odds, but you're not going to actually predict it.
Italy, France.
France,
yeah.
You
France.
give yourself no chance, Stallion, against the French.
Dude. I'm sorry, but we don't. I don't see how we score goals against France with Ciro Immobile. Like I don't see it. And then if we create chances. Okay, Barella is in front of net. He's not a striker. Like, he can't shoot. Insigne can't finish. I don't know. I don't see who's scoring personally, but I'm going to go France, because at the end of the day, if we get to the semi and it actually happens, I need to be sure that I didn't jinx myself. So
that's true.
The actual thing matters more than the predictor for me.
Yeah,
this is where I bow out.
Yeah, that's not a bad. If you bow in the semis, if this actually happens, Stallion, I think you could be pretty happy with this result.
I mean, look, I either want to win it or not. I've already witnessed a World Cup. My standards are high, dude. Very high.
Yeah.
Must be nice. England, Portugal.
Bruh.
Right. I mean, the thing is we've predicted, like we said this in the last round when we were putting through, like, this route to the final for England, for me, doesn't feel realistic. Listen, if we're sat here in a month and we've beaten Germany, Spain, and Portugal, I will get a 3 lions tattoo on my forehead, mate. Like, there's just no way. Like, if
Can we get that in writing?
Yeah, that's officially on the pod. Let's go.
I would consider it, maybe not the forehead, but it's just like, it's a bit. It's England. Like, we can't. There's something's going to happen. We're going to be all over Portugal. Somehow, like, in this situation, we've got to a semi. We're playing the best football ever. We've knocked out Spain and Germany. We'll be all over them, but lose 1-0. Like, it's just, something will happen like that. And I just can't see us beating Croatia, Germany, Spain, Portugal in one tournament.
You think this is that? We talked about that moment in the last round. I think this is the moment. You think this is the real moment where, like, they underperform, or they just, like, don't show up?
Are we really thinking it's going to be back-to-back France-Portugal finals? I don't believe it.
I know.
Statistically, that's unlikely, right, Stallion?
Yeah, so I'm saying England, dude.
Let's fucking bring it home, boys.
Can I just say, if England get to the final against France, France will win. I believe France will win still. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't see
up
a way
until that
past.
point. Look at this. You know what's funny? We talk shit about Portugal quite a bit, but like, look at the draw they got, and look how far they made it. So like, how much of this is so based on like, I mean, this is a lucky draw for Portugal. Ukraine, Turkey, England.
But that's actually
at that today.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. And they're coming out of a group with 3 elite teams.
But that's the thing, seeing this again and breaking down the logic that we've created to get to this stage. Portugal have come third in their group. They've then played Ukraine and then Turkey, right? So say they did play against England, who have knocked out Spain and Germany and beaten Croatia. Right. I think actually the smart money's on England at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think the final, if the final was to be England-France, goes to France.
Oh my god.
Just to fuck you guys over a little bit more mentally, in 2006, Italy narrowly beat Australia, destroyed Ukraine, then faced Germany in the semis after they beat Argentina, and we destroyed them. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I'd still go England.
So
We're
final,
bringing
what
it
you,
home. Bring
you're
it
saying?
home, boys.
What are you saying for the final?
In Wembley? Do you
think
give them a little
England.
more? I think,
England.
yeah, do you give them a little bit
Bring
more
it
of
home.
that juice?
It's home.
Let's bring it home, boys.
Get it on. Where's the Gaza shirt?
England to win it. Let's go.
I got the Gaza shirt out. It's coming home. Listen, in this prediction that we've made, I do think, yeah, if we can
This
knock out
makes sense,
Germany,
actually. If England can beat Germany, Spain, Portugal, is it really crazy to say they can beat France
don't
at
think-
home in Wembley?
I can't even explain if England knocked Germany out of a World Cup, how crazy it would be in the streets here. Like, we hate Germany's football team, like, so much. Like, so much. So, yeah, if we were to draw Germany in this scenario and knock them out, everyone would literally believe straight away. You'd be seeing Euro tattoos on bald men's arms everywhere, like, already.
I like the
It's
logic you had. That logic, I think, it changed my perspective entirely. Because you're right. If you can beat Germany, Spain, and Portugal, like, is it really that crazy to say England at home, one game against France, they can't do it?
I don't think I've been majority there. I think France would have too much. Like, just if France get to a final, their team is ridiculous. It's like a club side that would probably win the Champions League. So, like, I don't know about winning, but maybe.
Stallion, final thoughts on: are we bringing it home or are we
Look,
not bringing it home?
I talk so much about the champions not being hungry enough. At this point, I can't say France. I can't.
Yeah, true. Oh, logic leads to England.
Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. Let's go, boys.
We've
Save
won.
image.
We've won.
I'll take this, please. This format. Yeah, thank you. Let's see what this thing looks like now that we created this abomination.
Tweet it.
Oh my god.
You've got to
What
tweet
is
it.
What is it? What does it mean? Wow, I think some people are gonna see that and ask, "Hey, can we watch the pod that this actually derived from?" Because they're not gonna understand what transpired here today.
That's it.
Oh my god, that was fun, boys. We did an hour and 5 minutes. Any final thoughts that things you're working on? You want to plug? Thank you for coming as always.
Mate, I'm all good. Yeah, all good. No. Just standard world of JCC. But to be honest, I can't believe it's come home. I'm in tears over it.
Go have a pint. Go celebrate. Tell your wife at Red Penny Night.
Yeah. Well, now if it doesn't come home as well, I have someone to blame. They can message you straight away, you two, and be like, "F you."
We jinxed it. That's why we allowed for it.
It would be funny if all of this played out exactly how we have it, but then the final was different. And then they would look back at this podcast and they would say, "My God, these three assholes jinxed this result." Like,
well, what will happen is we'll get to the final and Gareth Southgate will have this podcast on in a meeting room just for the England team before the final. Like, get psyched up. These boys know.
they know it's coming home. Stallion, what are you working on? Tell the people something to plug, surely.
Same old. You can find me at Stallion Sama. Just type that. You'll see some stuff. And yeah, congratulations to England. I'm glad you guys are winning. We're giving you the Euro, so you're satisfied by the time the World Cup comes. So tactical,
we'll win that.
Tactical.
We'll win that as well. No, we'll win that as well. You guys got time? You want to do a prediction for that now?
We'll do that. We'll do it another day. We'll save that for another day. All right, boys. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.